Hey, what's up everybody? This is Paul from Swarforks. It's January 1st, 2025, and yes, I'm at work today. And got a new product here to unveil for 2025. Super excited about this. As you know, we acquired GJ Motorsports product lines, and they're most known for their third brake lights, billet aluminum. And over the past 6 months or so, I've been working on an update for that. Kind of stuff that's been in my brain for years going on here. So here's the new one. So we'll call it the V2, I guess. And you can see a few differences right off the bat. So we chamfered the corners on everything and made it a little more edgy looking. You can see the bevels instead of the radiuses. And then changed the powder coat to a like fine textured, slightly matte black finish instead of the gloss black. I think it blends in a little bit better with the truck. And one of the big updates you can see here is the screwless S2, or externally screwless S2 mounting. Before, on the old one, you had 12 silver screw heads exposed. I think this just looks a lot cleaner looking. So when you drop the so you got a gasket in here, drop that in there, put the S2 in here, and now there's a couple screws that go on the back. Super easy. The idea just came to me one day and it worked perfect, which isn't always the case. So excited about that. I think it's just a lot cleaner look. So another big change we did was before the back of the brake light was pretty much flat. I mean, actually, it is flat. And you have a cab that's got a contour to it from the stamping. And so what we did is laser scan the truck, and I took that surface and cut this. And so now we profile machine it all, which takes a while longer, but it's totally worth it in my opinion, because we have a little concave curvature to it this way, and also a little bit to it this way. So now it perfectly matches the truck. I mean, it literally, if you set it up there without a seal, there's like no gap around it. So once you put a seal on there, it's not going to leak. So that was a huge upgrade. Now another one we did was the LEDs. So the parking light, running light, whatever you call it, and then the brake light in here. We upgraded to a 3-watt, bigger lens LED versus the 1-watt in the old one. So the brake lights are brighter, your parking lights are brighter. And so that was a very requested item. And then another thing we did was for the NMO cable for your VHF, UHF radio. Generally it had like an 18-foot cable on it from here, and it would go all the way in your cab. So if you want to take the brake light out, you either had to unscrew all this stuff, which isn't really easy to do in the field, but or if you damaged it, you had to replace the whole thing. So now I put the same connector, PL259, right here on a little pigtail, and then we just use basically an off-the-shelf pre-made extension cable. So male on one end, female on the other. So it's super slick because if you have your radio behind the rear seat, you can get like I think an 8-foot covers that really good. So if you put it, say, in your center console, you might choose a 12-foot option. And then if you damage it, whatever, you can easily replace that. Or if you want to take the third brake light out, just unhook your S2s and then disconnect that right there at the roof. So another big update we did was the wiring for the third brake lights. So generally, in the past, this is what it looked like. So off those little red lights, it was all soldered together, heat shrink tubing. Made it kind of hard if you ever want to replace one of those. You had to cut and solder. But then that connected to this box, plug in, and then on the newer trucks, there wasn't a connector to plug that into the truck. So you had these stinking Scotch lock connectors. Don't get me started on that. And all that with the little fine wires, it just, I didn't like that. So I made a new circuit board that will mount, it actually mounts right to the back of the housing. It has the same factory plug that the factory brake light has, and plug it in, and then these will be pre-wired to those 3 running lights. And that mounts right to the back of the housing for a totally integrated plug-and-play setup. So super excited about that. That was a big update. I love it. And then one of the final updates here was the mounting hardware. Before, you either had to run a longer screw in the factory plastic inserts in the cab, or you had to use the little panel clip nuts that were just such a pain. Like, they were good on a flat sheet metal, but you try to put them on a radius edge that the stamped truck has, and they were a hassle. So I just thought of this one day driving along, that I wanted to get a nut in the cab, but I didn't want to use a riv nut because then you're modifying your truck and you got to have the riv nut tool, whatever. And so I came up with this. So I've got a couple different ones here. Piece of aluminum, threaded, with VHB on it. So since it's aluminum, you won't have any strange galvanic corrosion stuff going on. So these, with the VHB on there, slide it in behind, start the screw, just pull it into the cab, and it just sticks right to the back of the cab. Take the screw back out, and now you can put your third brake light on there, screw right into these. So it's a big washer, basically. You can't rotate because it matches the profile of the cab. And super strong, super easy, and perfectly reversible. If you wanted to sell the truck, take these back out. I mean, you'd have to replace the VHB if you sold the light or put it on the next truck. But you can screw the screw back in once the light's out and just push on that, pop it loose from the back of the cab, and you're good to go. So those are a few of the updates, and then I'm trying to unveil a new product a month here in 2025. So right now I could really probably do one once a week, but I won't get carried away. We'll just do once a month, but today's kind of a double product because this now is a Starlink Mini mount that can mount on the top of the third brake light. I'll show you up closer, but you can see my truck in the background here has one on it. I've been running for quite a while, and it's so slick. So this one has dual NMO mounts on it for, you can run VHF, UHF, or double VHF, and then the Starlink Mini. And you see the cables for that. You just hook this up to like an upfitter switch and 12 volts. And so as soon as you slide the dish on there, you're up and running. So with the brake light, you can order it. When you order it with an option, I'll drill and tap this light to mount this to it. Or if you buy one of these and say a year from now you want to upgrade and put a Starlink on it, just take this out, send it to us. We'll drill and tap it, and then send it back to you with the mount installed if you want, or you can do it. It's super easy, just 4 screws, and then run the wires through where the original NMO mount goes. So we have those with and without the NMO mount, and super slick. It actually is lower than the 2 factory 4G antenna on the top of the cab, so any garage door clearances and stuff aren't an issue with the Starlink on there. So I think that pretty much covers it. We've got these made. I've got a bunch more coming back from powder coating right now, so these will be in stock, and I don't take orders unless they're in stock and ready to go. So made right here in Utah. Super excited about that, and I've been looking forward to this for a long time. So I'm excited and hope you guys enjoy it. I'll throw in some more video, maybe throwing the Starlink on there and kind of showing you up close on that. So anyway, I think that pretty much covers it, and I appreciate you joining, and have a good day.